we are live. We are live. What's up? What's up, world? What's up, y'all? Y'all know how we do this. This is the IAO Life Pod. We are live in the living color, man. It is a beautiful day. You already know that this is absolutely the realest show ever. We're going to say some things that some people like. We're going to say some things that some people don't like. But guess what? That's okay because you can't please everybody. But more importantly, Pam and I are going to be very transparent with you. We're going to say what's on the inside and bring it to the outside. How about that? Is that cool? Alright? Is that cool? In about 15 seconds, we're going to get rocking, alright? Y'all will hear from the one and only Pam McCray. You want to do the body wave, right?
Right. What makes you want to do this?
Can't do all that. You got my body moving separate in my hands. Yeah, I don't know about that. You got to rock it like the city. Get in sync right here.
The old man move.
Yeah, that's that no sweat move right there. You bite your lip a little bit weird.
Make mommy face.
Put the smolder on her. What up, y'all? What up? Man, just having a little fun. What's up, Pam?
What's going on? How you feeling this morning?
I'm awesome, man.
You awesome?
I am awesome.
All right. Well, I can tell you, I can double, triple that awesome. And hello to everybody out there in iPod land. Wait, why I keep calling this iPod?
I don't know. I really don't know. How your Life Pod land? What's up?
IAO Life Pod land.
What's on here? I got you.
Wait a minute. IAO Life Pod land. What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to everybody that's jumping on, that's watching us on this incredible morning. You know, it is another day in which I know without a shadow of a doubt that you guys woke up and y'all decided that today is your day. You know, and so just welcome to our show. I just want to let you all know before we get into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about today. You know what we're talking about today, man?
Absolutely. We're talking about the evolution of the vision today.
Yes,
a lot of moving parts today.
Absolutely. That is what we got going on today. But I just want to let you all know that this podcast takes place every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can tell I'm just a little messed up when it comes time to these time standards and all this and that. But anyway, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always join us here, right here at IAO Life Pod.
.com.
No, I had it. I just got choked up for a second. All right, IAOLifepod.com. And just tune in. Tell somebody, invite somebody, and definitely show up in order to go up, right? Grow up and all of that good stuff. But you know what? In addition to that, I just want to let you all know that we are super excited because this was once the grind. It's just bigger and better and having a whole lot more fun coming together in order to, you know, deliver real life information alongside my husband, my best friend, Mr. Nathan McCray. And so, you know, I'm just excited. I'm excited because on top of the podcast that we've just, you know, recently began and bringing back the grind bigger and better, is that you all should be even more excited about what is to come, because there's a whole IAO life community that I want you guys to go out and to definitely become a part of, right? We're super excited to be giving back, as not only do we have the IAO lifestyle, but we have the IAO Foundation that is going to be giving back to struggling entrepreneurs out there. But on top of it, get excited because we have something very special that we want to kick off this whole community with, that's going to take place on November 20th. All right, so mark your calendars right now. Set the date, and don't just mark your calendars, but go out and register. You want to go to IAO ProjectU.com, because that's what's coming. It's called the IAO Academy presents Project U, because it's all about you. You see, in this season, you have to know that you got to work on you in order to get yourself to the position to where once we roll into 2022, you are on point, ready to take that year by storm. So we're super excited to be bringing a 5-part workshop to all of you for free. Did I mention it was for free? But for free, in which we are going to tap into 5 different areas. We're going to start off with the motivation. I'm super excited to be bringing the motivational, inspirational piece. We're going to get into the physical aspect. We're going to also talk about the connection. We are going to then lead right on in to the branding and everything that you do. You got to make sure that you are branding you. And then we're going to top it off as none other than the visionary of the IAO lifestyle, IAO life. Truly, Mr. Nathan McCray is going to bring nothing else than the Win Now formula. Now, I'm not going to get into too many details regarding that, but you definitely want to make sure that you don't miss it. But not only don't miss it, but tell somebody, invite somebody to this free workshop that we know without a shadow of a doubt is going to change lives all over the entire world. So that's going to happen on November 20th. So get ready, get excited, go register and join the community at IAOlife.com. You can get to it there, but also you can go to IAOprojectu.com to simply find out about the event. So let's go.
That's a mouthful.
That is. It's a mouthful.
So now you guys got all the particulars out of the way. You guys know where to go to be a part. And that's important. Being a part of something in life that actually moves you from level to level is, man, that is like the piece, the resistance. Let me make sure that this gain is right, because if this gain is not right, it's
Can
going
we
to be a
sound
mess.
crazy?
Yeah, it's going to be
How
a
can
mess.
we double check that?
We can't. So we just IAO and keep moving, right?
Okay.
So here's the thing, though. The average person just wants to be a part of something that is actually doing something more or different than what they're doing. Something that's going to stretch them, even though they don't want to be stretched, right? But they know they need to be stretched. And I think that's the key. We talked about pressure last week, or not last week, Tuesday.
We talked about
Tuesday
pressure.
show,
We did,
2
right?
days ago.
Just 2 days ago.
So if you want to hear about that, then jump into that episode. But we're going to jump into something that I think is super important. We're going to talk about the evolution of the vision, because if we don't understand the evolution of the vision, this is stuff that most people won't give you until they get to the mountaintop, right? But we're gonna give it to you right here.
I want y'all to climb the mountain with us.
Right, climb the mountain with us, because, and that's good. I like that. Climb the mountain with us, because we believe in the phrase: if you help enough people get what they want, eventually you'll get what you want.
Absolutely.
So that's how IAO was really birthed, to help people really stand on a platform that can help them get to where they want to be, help them realize their vision, their purpose, what Pam talks about all the time, right? Discover your purpose and move in the power that you've been actually given. Now, here's the thing, and I keep messing with this gain on this mic because I want to make sure that we're good. I think that sounds a lot better.
It does.
Good.
A lot better.
Hopefully you guys heard us in the beginning of this, but nonetheless, you're here now. Moving in the power that you were given, sometimes you don't know what that power is, because maybe you've lost it and you need to rediscover it. Maybe you never found it and you just need to discover it. So I just said a mouthful right there, and I think that is a large part of the foundation of what IAO Academy is, right? Recovering lost power, discovering lost power, helping to empower the average person that's motivated to get to the next level. So how do we do that? We want to take you guys from the very beginning, all the way through this journey that Pam and I went through, man, a long time ago.
Why do you make us sound so old?
Because we're a little old.
Let me see. Turn around.
We're old.
It's bothering me.
We're old. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
We're older. Let's put it that way. I would tell my age, but I don't know what Pam want me to
I don't. Yeah, absolutely. I don't
So-
care about anybody knowing my age. I'm proud and happy to be 52 years old. Absolutely.
Are you 52?
I'm 52.
Dang, I'll be
Absolutely.
53 next month. So
Yes, you will be.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'll be
he's the
older
older
than you.
one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you get to say
Yes,
it again.
he's the older one.
So over the course of 30 years, 32 years, being married, it's like going through the motions, but learning a lesson from everything, but actually now bringing all of those lessons back in.
Right.
Right. A lot of people won't tell you what they went through, until they get to the mountaintop, and they say, "Oh, and by the way, I went through this, and this." But Pam, I want to be transparent through this process to bring you guys along with us
Right.
on the journey. Would you say?
Up the mountaintop.
Up the
Climb
mountaintop with us, because we're going to the top. So you have to make up your mind where you want to go, right? So we just talked about learning from our past experiences, and everything that you guys are doing right now is learning.
Right.
You're learning now. You either heard somebody say, "I either learn a lesson," or what was the other one? I either learn a lesson, I learn or earn, but I learn a lesson regardless of what happens.
Right.
Right. It's a
You always
win-win
fail forward.
situation. You always fail forward.
Right.
So we learn a lot of lessons, and there's some other people out there. You guys are learning lessons, but you have to view it that way. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Right. So view it as the lesson. So we learn lessons, and we talk about the evolution of the vision. Pam, when I mention evolution to you, what does evolution mean to you, quickly?
I would say the first thing that comes to mind when I think about evolution is something transpiring, coming into being created. It's a couple, yeah.
Something evolving, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Evolution, subset of the word evolve, right? So something evolving. Human beings are the only species that can evolve into whatever they want to evolve into, right? So with the right things that you're putting in your senses, then you can evolve. So the evolution of the vision is no different. So let's take IAO for instance. IAO started out very, very small. It started out as just a thought, right? And then it started to morph into more. But what people don't see is the phase that it was morphing through.
Right.
Right?
Most of the time they don't.
They don't. And I want you to
I don't
I
care
really
what
want
it
y'all
is.
to put yourselves I want you to put yourselves
Right.
in this, right? I want you to put yourselves in this and think about your evolution. I'm using IAO as an instance, right, as an example, but think about your evolution. And think about yourself right now and all the stuff that you've been through up until this very point in time in your life. And then think about what you want to be and how you're going to get there, right? So when I say vision, Pam, what comes to mind to you?
Well, the words when you mention the word vision, meaning seeing beyond, knowing exactly where you're going, being able to see clearly the goals, the accomplishment of the very things that you set out to do. Vision is seeing beyond the normal eyesight, but truly knowing the very things that you're meant to accomplish, and being able to block out everything in order to get there.
Right.
So yeah, you see it. You know it's gonna happen.
I want to put it in simple terms like this too, because what you said is awesome. I want to say seeing beyond your current situation, where you are right now, thinking bigger, as Pam said, right? Seeing things, we talk about faith all the time, but seeing things that are not as though they were, right? But you take that vision and say, this is what I want on a grand scheme of things, right? And you engulf yourself in achieving that vision. The dedication, the pursuit of achieving that vision is where it is. So here's the evolution, and here's how the evolution really looks. The evolution starts out with a circle, right? It starts out with a circle, and in that circle is whatever you allow in that circle. For me, I allow myself in that circle because I know my vision, right? We talked about last week, we said it's I before we.
Absolutely.
You have to go 1st. Right? We're listening to a song earlier and it was talking about let me drive the boat, right? And that wasn't Kodak Black, right? That was somebody else singing a song. And they would say, I want to be in control of the boat. You should be in control of your own boat.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta be.
I before we, you have to go first. You can't tell somebody to do something that you haven't even tried to do yourself.
Right.
Right? So it's the foundation that you have to build. You have to go first. If you start digging a hole, then other people will eventually come and help you dig that hole if they know why you're digging that hole. Right? So I before we. So now you're going first. You're figuring all of this out. The circle is division. You're okay with you being in that circle, right? So when you think about circle, what are some of the other things that you think about, right? You think about who am I going to have in that circle, and I want to familiarize you guys with the term, right? And it's a biblical term, right? And I think it's relevant because you're going to need it in the evolution of division. And you guys, I know this is going to take about 10, 15 more minutes. So I want you guys to really grab this because when it comes to building foundation, this is the ingredients that you need to actually, this is the ingredients that you need to actually mix the right concrete, right? And the right consistency. If you don't mix the concrete right, then the foundation's not right.
Right.
All right. So let's think about a phrase from a biblical term, separating the wheat from the tares. All right, and I'm gonna get very real here. All right, because this is the realest show ever, and you guys are gonna hear our dog Maximus snoring in the background. Just block him out because it's who he is, right? We knew when we bought the dog that he was a snorer.
Really? You knew it?
I knew it.
I did not know Maximus was going to be a snorer. He's a very loud snorer. Okay.
So just block that out, right? So think about this. Let's get very real about this. And I'm not going to pull any punches. They're going to be people, places, and things in your life, and I say that all the time, that you have to be very vigilant about identifying, right? So the people, places, and things we call, at the beginning you think, okay, it's all wheat, but what is the gist of what tare is? What is tare? Tare is the thing that grows with the wheat, and it looks like the wheat up until a certain point. Almost to the point to where it's too late to separate it from the wheat, right? So there are going to be people, places, and things that come into your life that are the imposters, people that are tares, but you won't be able to identify them in the very beginning if you're not really looking, right? Now, the other piece of that is you have to make sure that you're not the tare. All right, you're not the tare in the whole situation. How do you become the tare? I want you to get this because this is powerful. Okay, this is powerful. I heard a phrase the other day. It said, you know, if we spend our lives worrying about being told to beware of the wolves as sheep, right? But we get caught up and forget that the shepherd is the person that's really controlling us, right? And some shepherds are great, some shepherds are not, right? So how do you make sure that you are not the tare? This is important, very important, because it saves you a lot of time. Have values, character, and morals. Integrity that feed your vision, right? Don't compromise that, because when you compromise that, it changes who you are, right? You may have started off pure. I see it happen all the time in churches. We've been there, so we can say this. They start off pure. I just want to help the masses, and then the money starts to coming in, and everything changes, right? So start off pure, remain pure. Don't change. Don't change into the tare, right? Continue to be the wheat. So you feel what I'm saying?
No, I do. I definitely feel what you're saying, because that's very important. You know, when you think about values and morals and character, you see these are all a part of, just like you said, the foundation. And, you know, when things are built properly, and you don't lose sight of the vision, as you talked about, even with the evolution of the vision, then what ends up happening is you're able to definitely continue moving forward and to not shift in the wrong direction, so that you forget about your values, your character, your morals. I think ultimately that when it comes time to values, character, moral, this is your true being. This is these represent
Should be who you are.
Yeah, they should be. They should represent who you are. And I'm just a firm believer that it's almost like the scripture where you say, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart." That's because certain things are instilled into that child, right? And so even though they may shift, right, they may do other things than what they were taught. At the bottom line, though, the core.
You always come back to the baseline.
You always come back to the baseline. That's who that child is,
That's
right?
how they were raised.
Yeah, that's how they were raised. So they always have that on the inside of them, but it's a choice. It's a choice to shift.
Right.
It's a choice to forget about your values, your character, your morals, and to just go with the wind and to buy into anything, into everything, and to flow in every direction, and to not stand for the things that you believe in, the values that you have, the character, all of that. It's a decision. I believe.
So let's talk about the difference.
I believe it's a decision.
Because it is a decision, because you can move
when you
from
become that tear.
Right. You can move that's good. It's a decision. Because you can move from one aspect to the other. You can initially be wheat and turn into tear. Right? You can initially be tear and then turn into wheat. But typically synonymous of what both are. The wheat is there for sustenance, right? The tear is there to look like wheat, but to ultimately tear it down, right? To not allow it to create or to basically or to fulfill its real purpose, which is to be sustenance.
That
right?
tear was already a tear.
Tear was already a tear. Now that part I want to get to, right? The tear was already a tear, but you didn't know it, pretending to be wheat.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
So the evolution of the vision says, be very, very vigilant and know if you really pay attention, you can tell. I put out a post today, a 5-minute conversation with a person will tell you who they are and what they are. A productive conversation will tell you who they are and what they are, what they stand for, what they like, what they don't like. It's going to tell you that if you listen.
Right.
So in this phase of the evolution of the vision, you have to be very vigilant, and you have to be there. Maximus, come on, man. So
he said still sleep time.
He wants to get more sleep.
Right.
So understand that part, right? The wheat and the tear, and we're gonna be able to get into all of these, right? So we'll continue this on next week. But we talked about learning lessons, right? And here's a phrase that I want everybody to grab, because when you wake up in the morning, like it's a beautiful morning, you say, okay, what am I gonna do today? How am I gonna do it? When am I gonna do it? What am I? It's all those questions are there, but you have to understand that you have to live in the present, right? You have to learn from the past, and you have to grind for the future. So if you're deploying all three of those, and you're living in the present, you're not concerned about the past. You've learned that lesson already, right? It's like, okay, don't do that again because this got me that. Right. So now you have to focus on what you do today that makes your tomorrow better.
Right. Absolutely. And I think that what's key right there, what you just said, live in the present, because a lot of times people don't live in the present. They live, and I mean and we have to, in order to be able to move forward, in order to be able to grind for the future, we have to be able to live in the present, but also to learn from the past. Because a lot of times that doesn't happen either, and we end up repeating the past over and over and over and over again because there is no education that takes place from the past. We have to understand that I'm a firm believer that nothing happens to us, everything happens for us. So therefore, we both believe in that. So therefore, when we begin to learn from the different things that we go through, the challenges, the hurdles that we gotta jump, the mountains that we have to climb, then we are able to now be able to live more in the present and to understand that the present is going to be the very thing that produces the future.
Right.
Right. So therefore, when we make a decision that we want our future, all right, to be however we choose for it to be, right? Success is the realization of whatever your worthy ideal is, right? It's different for everybody. But now you realize that the very things that you're doing today, as you focus on the vision and stay true to the core, the values, the character, and everything that we just talked about, to remain that wheat, that it is going to end up creating the future that we want to see.
Absolutely.
That
and
we
can't
already
stress
see.
it. And we can't stress the future.
Right.
No, just like we can't stress the past. When you stress the past and you worry about the future, you cannot live effectively in the present.
Right.
So therefore, you can't really affect the change in your life that you really want.
No, right? that is so true.
Right.
That's
so and we're gonna get through all of these because I don't want to carry this over. I just made up my mind. I'm through. We got 3 more.
Okay.
Right. 3 more. I want to quickly talk about wake up time, and that's literal. Right. I'm gonna tell you guys something about the vision. Right. The vision, if it is if it is a worthy ideal, as Pam just said, right, that means that success is there, right? That's what success is, the realization of a worthy ideal. If it is truly a worthy ideal, then that means that you're going to think about it all the time. Mm-hmm. It's going to constantly be on your mind. Mm-hmm. And you're going to weigh all of the things that are keeping you from it, and you're going to do whatever you got to do to get to it and stick to it. So if you're waking up in the morning and you don't want to get up, you don't really know what you're going to do, then you may need to reevaluate that vision. Mm-hmm. You may need to reevaluate what you really want in life.
Right.
Get that baseline, because I can tell you, I've been telling Pam, it's hard for me to sleep past 4:30. Mm-hmm. I wake up at 4:30 and I'm getting coffee and I'm getting oatmeal, right? And I'm sitting at my computer, and I'm being poured into by my goals, by my vision. Right? It's like, it's coming. And I'm writing it down, right? I feel like I'm on a fireman's hose sometime, right? So if that's how you feel, then you're on the right track. If you don't feel that way, then reevaluate some things, right? I say wake up time because my goals, my vision, my dreams, they wake me up in the morning. I don't need an alarm clock. If I go to bed late, I think the latest I can sleep these days is probably 6:30, right? I'm probably bound to wake up, even if I go to bed at 3 in the morning, right? And we've tested it, right? You wake up at 6:30. That's just me, right? So, but what wakes you up in the morning? If nothing wakes you up, I get it. We go to 9 to 5s. Some people do. We don't, right? You go to a 9 to 5 and knocking that. When you go to that 9 to 5, what do you do from 6 to 9? Right? What do you do from 6 to 10, 11, 12? That's what you're grinding. That's how you're grinding. You're living in the present, grinding for your future.
Right.
So what's your wake up time?
I like how you put that, but I also, something else that came to mind when you said, wake up time, right? It's wake up time. I thought about on a whole different aspect of it, how so many people do wake up. Okay. They wake up, but they still sleep. Okay, right. And it's true. And I think that everybody has gone through that at some point in time in life. But the ones who want more in life make a decision. Again, it all goes back to that decision. It starts with mindset, that they choose to wake up. They choose to change their situation, to not allow life to just throw them different circumstances and challenges, and to lay down and to take it, but to instead get up every single day and to wake up to what is happening in their life and to take control over the very things that are happening, knowing that, hey, it's just a part of the process. What do I need to do in order to get through this? What do I need to do in order to grow through this? But unfortunately, people sleep through life. Yeah. It's called settling. It's called just taking whatever life throws, to you, and you never really wake up to be able to even see the vision, to even walk in your full purpose, and it's because of settling, unfortunately.
And let's take that back. You said settling. That's a big word, right? And it's a powerful word. It is a average, mediocre word at the same time, right? So when you talk about people settling, you talk about people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, some people haven't realized what their purpose is yet.
That's true.
Some people don't know.
I can relate to that.
Right? Some people don't know. So, that's why Pam and I have dedicated ourselves to things like Project U, right? Project U. It's all about you trying to help you figure out exactly what it is that you need to do. How do we proceed to get you where you need to be?
Right.
And we can only do that by going down a rabbit hole.
Right.
Right? We got to go down the rabbit hole and go back and figure this thing out and see what we need to do to move forward, because sometimes things have damaged us so much from past issues we can't get past. I know I say don't live in the past, learn from your past.
Right.
But some of us haven't learned the lessons from our past. So we have to go back and we have to revisit and learn the lesson. Okay, that's when the wheels started to wobble.
Right.
I know when they fell off. I lost my car, my house, I lost everything I owned. I know when they fell off, a very definitive moment. I just don't know when they started to wobble. What happened?
Right, what happened?
Right? So that's why this is so powerful.
Right.
Right? Figure that part out. And here's the thing. The evolution of the vision says rule number 1 is it does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Nothing is perfect.
Nothing's perfect.
Nothing is perfect. It's crazy because I put up a post the other day after being in New Jersey and went out with my all 3 of my BFFs, right? And we were at this restaurant. It was very dark, so we couldn't get how I am with taking pictures and making sure that we share them and post them and this and that. And so we just couldn't get any good pictures. The lighting wasn't right. The restaurant was dark. It was raining outside, so we couldn't even do some before pictures because it was just not a good day, weather-wise. But you know what? I posting pictures because we had a good time. And as I post a picture, because I thought about
the dark pictures you posted?
Right. I thought about like, should I post these pictures or not? And I put in the comments too, for real, that it's unfortunate, for real, social media. So social media looks for perfection, right? In life, want everybody to be pristine. It's just not real. Like, for real, nobody, nothing is perfect, right? We got one, and who is perfect, and all we do is strive to be like him. And so, at the end of the day, nothing is perfect. So I did want to add that because life is life. Life is meant for us to go through different things, right? And to, even when you talk about settling, I don't think anybody wakes up and just decides to settle, right? Nobody just said, oh, hey, I'm just going to settle in life. No, life happens, and it's a choice to not allow it to overcome us.
Subliminally, people settle when the comfort zone is compromised.
Right.
So when moving and elevating requires something of a lot of people, they compromise this by saying, I can't do that.
Right.
Because of X, Y, and Z. So, it doesn't have to be perfect. Start with what you have, because what you have is enough, right? Start right there. Everything big was once small, right? So start right there and don't listen to the voices that are in your head telling you that it's not enough, because it is. Just start. And here's the one that I really wanted to get to.
What's the one?
Here's the one. We're going to end on this one. I wanted to get through all of these because I got something else that we can talk about on the next part, right?
Okay, awesome.
So, and this is people don't get this one.
Y'all gonna get this.
You gotta be strong with this one. You gotta be strong. Yeah, you gotta be strong. Right? We call
They're
this
strong enough. I believe they are.
Okay.
I believe they're strong enough. Oh, look who woke
We have
up.
a visitor. All right. So the evolution of the vision is there's a phase that you have to go through. We call it the great falling away. Right? The great falling away. It's going to be. It's imminent. It happens to everybody. And when it happens, some people can't handle it, right? The falling away is the ascension, the elevation that you start creating for yourself, right? It's like you're building a rocket ship. You're putting the fuel in the rocket, right? You're getting everything in order, checking all the instruments. And as you're doing that, people start to say, oh, you acting funny. You acting funny. Now you getting all bougie.
Or
yeah,
he or she changed.
You changed. You absolutely doggone flipping right.
Right.
That changed.
For the better.
I have to, because what I was doing wasn't serving me.
Right.
So I got to do something different. So here's the thing: I call it a great falling away because it's not a PSA. It's not you saying, "Hey, look, y'all gather around. I'm going to do some stuff right here, and y'all ain't gonna like it.
Right.
It's gonna make you feel uncomfortable because
It don't
you ain't
even
doing
matter.
nothing."
I mean, I don't care what you like, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
not
I'm
necessary.
telling you right now, y'all gonna stop liking me. You don't have to do a PSA.
Right. No
Just start
public
doing
service
what you do.
announcement. Just
right?
do it.
Do what you do, and as you do what you do, the great falling away will happen. You're gonna have
Right.
some that are going to stick with you, and they're gonna understand what you're doing because they know they wanna glean from what you're doing, and they want you giving them a great example, right? And they can grow with you. You can have some that aren't gonna want to grow. They're gonna keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to hate you for doing it, right? Hate you for growing. When they look at you, it's like looking in the mirror and having to accept all of their failures in life to this point, but not having the propensity to do anything about it, right? So here we are at the great falling away. You just gotta let it happen. Let it happen. I promise you, when you get on that path, that purpose-filled path, you're gonna have some people that are gonna join that path with you. And when they join that path, and those are the people that have vision just like you.
Right. Right.
But always
Absolutely.
just go back to number 3. Always be very weary of the tears, because they'll come at any point in time. But you're vigilant now. You know what they look like.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. That's good. You know, it happens, you know. But you just got to make sure that throughout it all, throughout the process, throughout the challenges as you're climbing up that mountaintop, that you stay focused and remain the wheat, you know, that you were created to be, to grow out and go out and to manifest the vision by putting in the work, basically, and remaining true to who you are and growing in the process.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. We're out of here. Finito.
Finito.
Yeah, I want to keep you in
That
here
is
too much longer.
it.
You know, Pam, close us out, baby.
Absolutely. I just want to say again from both Date and I, thank you so much for tuning in to IAO Life Pod. All right. You can find us here every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, it's time for you. Project You is here. November 20th, a free online event. We said free workshop with 5 different areas that's going to take your life, all right, to the next level. Go there now, www.iaoprojectu.com, and lock in your spot, all right, and we'll see you in the community, all right, iaolife.com. Love you guys.
Bye-bye,
y'all be
y'all.
blessed. Have yourself an
Good,
incredible
man.
weekend. And we on the
Give
weekend,
yourselves a hand.
right?
Let's do
Yes,
this.
yes,
Let's do
yes,
this. See you guys at the top, man.
See you at the top.
I love that little beat. Oh. Got some little whale sounds in there.
Got little whale sounds.
See y'all later, man.